Hello and welcome back once again to the Wrestling Rant. It's time for the SmackDown spoilers. SmackDown was taped in Ottawa, Canada, and this is the July 11th, 2014 episode of SmackDown. The show starts with Lana and Rusev coming out and cutting an anti-Canadian promo. That's kind of new. Roman Reigns comes out to a big pop, by the way. And of course, as I noted at the sometime during the Raw video, the two of them are supposed to have a match on this show. That ends up being the main event, by the way. Roman comes out to a big pop, and he cuts a promo saying that he won't be crushed. Lana says that Reigns should be afraid. And Reigns responds by saying, "You're telling me to be afraid?" Things get heated, but referees get in between them before they start fighting. Now, I'm not sure if they mean that the referees come up and get in between them before they start throwing punches. So they basically just separate them before anything happens, or do the referees come out, try to break them up, they start fighting anyways, and then they're completely broken. I don't know what the fuck it means. I don't give a fuck. Anyways, Lana backs Rusev down, or backs him off, really. And that's the end of that segment. Up next, we have Cameron versus AJ. So, I'm gonna guess the match probably sucked. AJ can't carry that piece of shit. Cameron tries to walk out on the match, but Naomi comes from behind and throws her doofy ass back into the ring, and AJ wins with a Shining Wizard. And then Naomi and Cameron have another stare down. And by the way, this match has been signed for, or at least announced for, the Battleground pay-per-view. Naomi versus Cameron in basically a grudge match. Don't care. There's also been a couple other matches announced, but we'll get to that when we get to the pay-per-view predictions. Anyways. Up next, Renee Young interviews Randy Orton. Randy says he doesn't care what Reigns thinks. All he thinks about is what's best for business. And he's going to introduce Jericho to the Legend Killer tonight, because Randy and Jericho have a match. That got me to thinking. He says he's going to introduce Jericho to the Legend Killer tonight. I know the Legend Killer gimmick that Randy had is so far into the past, hardly anybody, well, I'm sure people remember it, but most of the younger fans probably don't. But I just got to thinking, wouldn't that be a good name for that punt kick that Randy does? Call it the Legend Killer. I'm gonna punt kick you so hard. It's the Legend Killer. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways, after that, Adam Rose comes out with Summer Rae for some reason. Oh yeah, because he's going up against Fandango next. The match starts, and of course, Layla, who is of course there with Johnny, Layla and Summer start fighting on the outside of the ring as soon as the match starts. Fandango eventually goes out to split them up, but he gets counted out in the process, so he loses the match. Then Johnny argues with the referee as Rose celebrates. And then for some strange reason, Rose decides to come from behind and hit the party foul on Johnny. So, how very face-like of you to attack the guy from behind when he's arguing with the referee. He's not doing anything. He's not bothering you. I mean, unless he attacked you first. No. I think your Leo Kruger is showing there, Rose. Who cares? Moving on. This was a what the fuck moment. Heath Slater teams up with Titus O'Neil to get beaten by the Usos in a non-title match. Don't ask me why Slater and Titus were teaming together. The Usos win, like I said, who cares? Byron Saxton he interviews them in the ring after the match, and what follows was said to be a very boring try at comedy by the Usos. Have no idea what that means, but I'm not going to watch the show anyway, so I don't really care. Again, moving on. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, and by the way, the thing with Layla and Summer fighting during Rose and Johnny's match, make a mental note of that, because that becomes important in a minute. Anyways, after the Usos segment, whatever the fuck, okay, this whole thing takes a little bit to explain, because I didn't write down much, because I'm trying to save on notes here, because I'm sick of wasting so much fucking paper on this shit. Right, so Chris Jericho comes out for his match with Randy Orton. He comes out, and after his entrance, Bray Wyatt appears on the Titantron. And he gets a chant from the crowd of "the whole world in his hands," the goofy little song thing. He gets that chant going. Whatever. After that, Orton comes out. What ends up happening, they have the match, of course, and trying to remember what exactly it said happened. Jericho was about to win. He had hit the lion salt on Randy and was about to go for the pin when the Wyatt cut thing flashed on the Titantron. So, yeah, when Jericho hits the lion salt, he comes up and he's facing the Titantron, or the ramp, the stage area, and he looks up and sees the Wyatt logo flash up there, or the cutaway gag, whatever the fuck, and it distracts him just long enough for Randy to get up and hit the RKO on Jericho, and Randy gets the 1-2-3. So, yeah. Once again, this is another match that gets signed for the Battleground pay-per-view, Jericho versus Bray. Now then, this is the part where the thing with Layla and Summer comes up. We get a rematch from the Money in the Bank pay-per-view of Layla versus Summer with Fandango as the referee. And all that happens, Summer kisses Fandango, and then Layla does the same thing. So they both kiss him. And this causes Johnny to start dancing. And I guess his music was playing, I'm not sure, but the crowd, the fans, they start, doing the Fandango, they're doing that, and then all of a sudden, and Johnny keeps dancing, and then all of a sudden, Summer and Layla both attack Johnny. Fucking what? The segment ends with Johnny sitting on the stage in disbelief as Layla and Summer have apparently decided to team up now. They show off and dance. And that's the end of the segment. Now what in the fuck? If they were gonna team up, why the fuck were they fighting each other earlier? Was it just to set up Johnny to make sure he lost his match with Adam Rose? And just to cause this rematch from the pay-per-view just so that they could, okay, Johnny, thanks for everything, thanks for putting us both on the fucking map. Because nobody gave a fuck about either one of these two bitches before Johnny used him as his dance partner. Thanks for getting us to where we are. Now we're going to abandon you, kick you to the curb, and we're going to team with each other. And God only knows where that's going. But Jesus Christ, this is really reminiscent of when Layla was teamed up with Michelle McCool. She's there with another tall, leggy blonde. The only difference is Summer's at least not that terrible. Michelle McCool was fucking awful, okay? Can we all just agree on that one? She was awful. So glad that bitch is gone. Mark, you can have her. Moving on. Okay. My notes got a little backwards here. I accidentally wrote down one thing first before it was supposed to. But anyways, what actually happens after the Layla and Summer and Fandango thing is we get a match between Goldust and Ryback. And of course, Curtis Axel and Stardust were at ringside. Goldust gets the win. Didn't say how, I don't think. But of course, Ryback attacks Goldust after the match. And as he's about to hit the shell shock, Stardust blows the Goldust in Ryback's face. And I guess Goldust is able to get out of it, and him and Stardust escape. I guess. Or they maybe beat him up. I don't know. It didn't say. So, yeah. So yeah, that part happened first. The other thing that I have here, after that match, we get another Bo Dallas match. And I guess this is because of what happened on Raw. He's taking on El Torito again, but this time it's a handicap match, and Bo is taking on El Torito and Diego, who I guess was the one Matador who was there on Raw with El Torito. I forget whether that's Primo or Epico. Who cares? Moving on. Of course, Bo wins. Bo pinned Diego, is what they said happened. And then he proceeds to attack El Torito after the match, laying him out with a running Bodog. I don't know what they mean by running Bodog. Is it just like a regular running bulldog? Or is it like, does he actually do the springboard thing? Don't know, don't care, moving on. After that, we finally get the main event of the evening, Rusev and Roman Reigns. Now, as you'll recall from my Raw video, I kind of ranted about having this match, considering Rusev is supposed to be undefeated, and they're building him up to be fed to Cena. They're building up Reigns to basically replace Cena as the next big face, so you can't have him just get beat by Rusev. So, yeah, of course they split the difference, essentially. The match was said to be a pretty good match. Rusev dominates most of it. Reigns hits his Superman punch, and then he's about to hit the spear, but then Randy Orton comes in from behind and attacks Roman, causing a DQ. So I'm pretty sure that means Roman wins by DQ, so Rusev just lost. I guess they're not really going to count it because he wasn't really beaten, but still, that's a loss on his record. Rusev hits his super kick on Reigns, and he's about to crush Roman when Lana stops him, and the two of them leave, leaving Randy and Roman in the ring. Orton waits for Reigns to get up, and he hits the RKO on him. And then Orton goes to spear Reigns, but Reigns gets up and spears Orton first to end the show. So again, we end with Roman standing tall, looking like a badass. And, geez, I don't know. I can already see the Cena, the Cena booking starting to glare. It's going to cast a real nasty shadow over the rest of Roman's career if they're just going to book him exactly like Cena. Good Christ. Even the best, most popular face in the world will get beat from time to time. You know? A lot of the time, the face would get beat up a lot. But it was just building up to him eventually, finally overcoming the big heel and getting the win when it really matters. You know, at the pay-per-view, in the title match, or whatever the fuck. You know, you can't just have the big babyface win all the fucking time, or come out on top all the fucking time. Anyways, that's the end of SmackDown. Couple other notes here. The ongoing problems with Daniel Bryan, his injury and stuff, have become more complicated now, as after a recent checkup, I guess, with his doctor or whatever, it looks like not only may he need another neck surgery, he may end up needing a shoulder surgery as well, because apparently he's got a bunch of problems in his shoulder. So now there's really no set date or even estimation for when Bryan's going to be coming back. And so the WWE has basically taken him out of all their plans for the foreseeable future. So that really fucks up any hope of Bryan being back anytime soon to reclaim the title from Cena or whoever may hold it by then. It'll probably happen eventually, but something tells me this might be the thing that, you know, kills off his momentum and popularity. You know, it might take him so long to come back that by the time he does come back, the people will, I don't know, they'll probably still care, but probably nowhere near as much. You know, this really sucks, though. The only other note that I have here is, as you may remember from a couple episodes back, SmackDown episodes that is, I mentioned that Ric Flair was supposed to come back a couple of weeks ago, and they were supposed to be teaming him with The Miz again. But that idea got scrapped for that week, and then of course Miz came back. Was that? Miz came back 2 weeks ago on Raw. Not this past Monday, but the week before that. Right. Yeah. So this probably would have been 3 weeks ago now, or 3 Mondays ago at least, that it was supposed to be that Flair was supposed to come back. Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was the SmackDown, or no, the Raw that was in Cleveland. Or maybe it was Cincinnati, I don't know. Who gives a fuck? I'm just going round and round in circles, am I? Sorry, my ADD is flaring up. The point is, after all of that, Flair is finally supposed to return this coming week on Raw, and he will also be on SmackDown next week. So don't know what the hell they're going to do with him. I really hope they're not going to try and stick him with The Miz anymore. What might have happened is Flair decided that he was adamant about working with Ziggler. He's apparently been wanting to work with Ziggler. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that before. But he's been wanting to work with Ziggler. And I think that would be great for Ziggler to have, somebody like Ric Flair give you the rub. That's a huge honor, At least if he's actually wanting to do it. I don't know if Flair really wanted to work with The Miz. But that might have been what happened. Flair didn't want to work with The Miz anymore. He said, fuck that, I'm not going to show up unless you're letting me work with Ziggler. And so that might be what happening. They finally agreed, okay, fine, we'll let you work with Ziggler. And he's like, okay, fine, I'll be on Raw next week. So hopefully that's what's going to happen. Although something tells me it's probably not. Anyways, that's all I got for the show this week, or for today at least. Anyways, so that's it for the SmackDown spoilers. Once again, that's July 11th, 2014 from Ottawa, Canada. What all do we got here? Crappy Divas match. Bullshit fucking squash match with Rose and Johnny. Tag team squash match with the Usos. Yeah, it was said that they won that match pretty quickly. Of course, you're being in a match with a thrown-together tag team like Slater and Titus. It's not going to last long. Orton and Jericho. Stupid shenanigans with Bray. Boo. Layla and Summer betray Johnny, beat him up, and then apparently they're going to team up now. I guess they just have to have their quota of Divas tag teams. Still makes no bloody sense. Goldust and Ryback. Bo winning another match. And then Rusev and Reigns goes to a DQ finish with, I'm pretty sure, Reigns winning. Yeah. Show doesn't really sound all that great. And to be honest, I've been thinking about stopping doing the SmackDown spoilers. Because, as always, all these notes came from NoDQ.com. And if you guys really want, you could just go there and read that. Like I said, that's where I get all my notes for SmackDown, and all the side notes, the stuff about Bryan and Flair, it's all there too. So, it honestly seems kind of pointless for me to keep doing the SmackDown spoilers, because I never watch the show, and they're taped, Again, you can get the spoilers, and hell, I'm sure there's other sites you can get them from too. If you have a favorite site that does this kind of stuff, you can probably find it there. I just feel bad doing this stuff, and plus I'm really just not all that into the WWE as a whole that much anymore. After the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, with Cena fucking winning the damn title back, there just doesn't seem to be any hope. No hope to be found. Just, the way it looks like things are going to go, Cena's going to end up facing Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. That's probably going to happen. It's not exactly 100% at this point, but it's probably going to happen. And that will most likely end with Brock winning the title. Because after Brock beats The Undertaker's streak, I really don't see how anybody, is going to beat him. Although I don't know. Who really knows with this crap? It's pretty hard to predict or call what's going to be happening when, it all just seems like half the shit they do is written at the last second or on the spur of the moment. Like, it used to be with a wrestling promotion that they would plan out a long-term plan. Like, where are we going to be 2 years? Where are we going to be in 5 years? What are we going to do? We got to build this guy up and that guy up and this guy up, and we got to do all this other stuff. Because in a couple of years, we need to really be rolling. WWE doesn't seem to be doing that. Anyways, I'm gonna go do something more fun. So, thank you for watching the SmackDown spoilers for this week. Join us on Monday, which will most likely be the next episode. I don't know. I kind of feel like doing a rant on something else. Just, I don't know what. For a while, I felt like doing another video going over the Divas, since, a lot has changed in the division since the first video I did on them. I don't know, that one doesn't seem like it would be all that interesting, though. I don't know. Maybe I'll let the viewers decide. If you have any suggestions on a particular topic you would like me to talk about, something obviously wrestling related, and preferably WWE, because I haven't watched TNA in so long. I probably wouldn't even be well enough informed about anything going on over there for me to do a rant on anything, so might as well not bother suggesting anything like that. Same thing goes for Ring of Honor. I haven't seen anything they've been doing lately either, so I don't know. If you have a particular subject, like I said, preferably with the WWE, a particular person, a wrestler or a diva, somebody that maybe I haven't really talked about a whole lot, I don't know. Somebody you'd like me to give my opinion on, I don't know. Leave a suggestion in the comments section if you want to, I guess. I'm always open to things like that, any kind of topics or things like that. As I said before, thank you for watching the Wrestling Rant once again. SmackDown spoilers. Join us next time. It'll most likely be Raw on Monday, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and good night.